Welcome, everyone who is new, who is returning from other things. We are starting our probably final show that I think I'm going to give a shot here on the channel for the spring 2024 season with Whisper Me a Love Song. Reasons for choosing this, entirely simple. Every time there's a series that involves music and involves romance in any sort of way, I fall in love with it. So here we are. We have to give that a shot. Some other things, I mean, of course, behind it, the manga that it is adapted from here is extremely, I mean, I wouldn't even say popular. I haven't like heard a lot of people talk about it or anything, but my quick looks through Mal and seeing things, I mean, I can see that there's a decent enough following of it. There's a pretty high rating regarding it. So it makes me think, anything with music typically being animated tends to kind of be elevated a little bit. So I'd be under the impression that we're going to end up having a series that I will actually really, really love. I don't know what interest and things from people is going to end up being on this series, but it doesn't matter because I'm going into this assuming I'm going to end up really liking this, which I mean could put higher expectations than needed, but who really knows? I know we have a Yuri, a girl's love here, and I am excited for that. I've seen a couple, I think. I'm trying to remember. I've seen ones that have like subtext almost for it. I don't know if I've really seen like a direct like straight Yuri romance series. Now that I think about it, have I really not? Oh no, I'll have to go back and check. I really might have not. But that gets me really excited. We're always here for it. We absolutely love our romance on this channel, and because we're not continuing with a condition called love, we need another one for the season. And if we don't get that with this, I'm gonna have to just pick an older series so that we can keep that going on the channel. So we gotta get it in somehow. But that's where we're at right now, and I'm excited, I guess, for what we're gonna have with this series. I don't know what it's gonna be. I mean, we have typical coloring of characters. I've seen designs and stuff with like snafu character colors, with the orange or pink hair kind of girl, with the straight long black hair kind of girl. Like, it all makes sense. Like, it's fairly typical with a lot of different series, but it works and they contrast each other extremely well. I don't know dynamics and stuff. I mean, if it's true from a few other series with similar looking characters, would be with the way that they each act. We can almost make assumptions as to what exactly they're going to be like, but we'll leave that and actually finish the first episode before we really, I guess, kind of guess and see if that holds true. This is a production by Yokohama Lab or something like that, and Cloud Heart, and I've never seen anything from either of them, so I have zero clue what to expect. I am concerned production front with this because of I believe it was supposed to air in the winter and it got delayed. So delays aren't always a bad thing because it could just mean that they want to make sure that it's good before they put it out and they're not being completely rushed by the publisher or anything to force it out and then meet these strict deadlines and then have series or episodes that are like left kind of incomplete. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it also is a little concerning that they did have an initial pace that they thought that they could reach and they were unsuccessful to do so, that they had to end up delaying it. So that does concern me that we could run into production issues at some point throughout the series, but you would end up hoping that that isn't the case due to the extra couple months that they had. I'm not expecting it to be overly well animated or anything. It's one of those series. I mean, it's a school music one. It really doesn't have to be over the top. Let's be honest. We don't have to do things that are too crazy. We don't need to have insane looking backgrounds or anything. We can just make the character interactions and dialogue and music good, and that's all that really needs to happen. And it doesn't visually matter as much as to the things that we're looking at. Well, of course, we would always welcome that. It doesn't matter too much. I haven't seen anything actually about the series outside of the image, the promo image that they're kind of using for it. I've skipped all trailers and even reading synopsises and stuff. I just immediately looked at the genres and looked at the the image and was like, yeah, I'm gonna like this. So I just decided we're gonna end up skipping over all of that. So that puts us in the position that we are here. I'd assume that we're gonna be a situation where a character is very closed off, but they really enjoy music, and then this other person who's very bright and energetic kind of comes into their world who doesn't really have anything, and then they end up making music either together or they end up doing it, the closed off one ends up doing it for the other person, and then they end up growing their relationship, and it's pretty cute from there. That's what I would kind of expect early going into this. I would be hopefully wrong on that just because it would be fun to get something entirely different, and because that's not too crazy or different of like a scenario for us to kind of be in for this plot. So I don't know. I'll be happy, I think, either way, but we'll end up seeing how that goes. I don't think I have anything else to speculate or think about. I have zero clue producers and licensors and stuff for the series, so if this is something where I'm gonna end up getting blocked, then I'm sorry, but we'll just go along with it, and hopefully we don't have any problems on that front, but we'll adjust as we go through each episode. I think that is enough yapping for me to start us off here, and I'm hoping that you guys enjoy. If you like it all, hit the like and subscribe. They do mean a lot to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion, leave any comments about this episode or series. Let's get going though with Whisper Me a Love Song Episode 1.
高校入学初日。続いては軽音部所属 SS ガールズによるバンド演奏です。
Oh wow. Okay, so take inspiration of music from them. You've already had a close relationship and friends right from the start. So I'm assuming that's you too.
興味なくて、私にはずっと歌だけだった。だから。
Oh, that's not her next to it. Oh. You see the girl in the crowd. You look so cool up there. The point that you're the only ones that you see, right? A connection between two, that's cute. Gotta go to school. So this is prior. So this is build up towards it. You gotta get up. Oh my god. Why do they always make the moms look so good? It's really cute what she does with her hair. They're really cute uniforms too. See, this is who I thought was the other girl for a second when I saw them next to each other. Nice. It's great to be around people that you already know. Especially if you're good friends with them, you know? Oh, damn. 4 years in a row? So the typical welcome the new students with your performances and stuff to try and recruit you to be able to... Okay. This can be our into the club too, right? If she takes interest in it. I'm nervous. Not cool, calm, collected. So this is a first time for her, or she just struggles with it? Damn, you don't know any of them. That would have been funny if that was her sister. So your sister's blonde? Oh. Animated performance, no CG? Oh shit. I wonder if the confidence that she gained to perform was due seeing this girl. She was like, oh shit, I gotta show up now. Yeah, she does look fucking sick up there. I'm completely with you. She fell in love, dude, come on. I didn't even look at her. The group was good though. I wonder how this is gonna be like when we get serious into it too, of like accepting of others and stuff. She was. She's obsessed, why not? The girl reminds me of Mem. I love her design though. So trial. Are you second year then, I'd assume? like first performance thing.
緊張してたけどさ、途中から楽しそうだったじゃん。
今回はヘルプに入ったの？
それは私が猫ちゃんパーティー。
Ah, yes. We love our black hair girls who are obsessed with cats.
とにかく一人で歌ってる方が向いてんの。
じゃあもっとレアな猫ちゃんグッズあげるって言ってもダメかしら。
Well, you joined permanently. How much are you bribing her
お金持
with?
ちだもんね。
どう？考えとくよ。やりたい。恋愛ソングやろうぞ。
So
ない
Yuri,
わね。いいね。
恋愛ソングなんて作れないって。
you're about to, because I've never been in love, so I don't know. Yeah.
じゃあしなさい。今すぐ。
無茶言うな。
So the other girl recognizes that she is immediately. This girl probably didn't even notice at that moment, but we'll grow to understand that.
恋愛ソングね。
We have to have an encounter
会いた
here.
くて震えるとか、好きって気持ちが溢れてくるとか。全くわからん。
If we pull a White Album 2 and have her playing on the roof and then somebody runs up and sees her, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit. I'm obsessed with that series, by the way, so. Holy shit. It's you. The one I've been talking about.
何か。
今日は新刊の映像を見ました。
Mhm.
ありがとう。
すっごく声が綺麗でかっこよくて輝いてました。
嬉しいけど褒めすぎだよ。
No,
あ
no,
の演
no.
奏結構ミスったし、歌もまだまだ。
そんなことないです。
I didn't notice any of that. I was so.
一目惚れしました。
That's very direct.
聞き間違いとかじゃないよね。
So are we gonna use her as our inspiration for writing?
伝えられて嬉しいです。
告白されたというか、この子可愛いの。
Mm-hmm.
特に笑った顔が私にはきっと。
Now all of a sudden it's involved in my world.
やば。
Awesome.
一年に一目惚れされた。やるじゃんより。深いって。
And before they
突
realize.
然の招集で何かと思えば。
すごく可愛かったよ。そうきましたか。
びっくりだわ。
Wasn't expecting you to answer with the.
って感じ？
Yes.
はあ、バカ何言ってんの？
Denial.
好き
Nice.
かも。
That's so
より
cute.
より可愛いね。
Absolutely.
告白されたら。
I mean, yeah, I guess. It was a little different though, you
お
know?
断りだわ。
Oh.
なんて返せばいいわけ？なんでもいいじゃん。私も好きとか愛してるとか。何それこっぱずかしい。
They're like, what? What if she wasn't thinking about it that way? What if she just meant like, I love you in the way that you look cool up there? It'll make for a real awkward conversation if she goes up and she's like, wait.
聞いてみきちゃん。昨日例の先輩に下駄箱で会っちゃった。マジか。気づいた。
Oh my god.
地声も綺麗でさ、背高くてさ、そもそもひまりちっちゃいしね。ね、なんて声かけた？一目惚れしましたって。
Nice.
あんたって本当。
Mm-hmm.
あ、そうそう。
She's
私も
direct.
あの先輩の情報、姉ちゃんから
She
聞いたわ
talked
よ。
about you, by the way.
右読みさ、うざい
That'd be so funny if she says that.
教えるぞ。よろしい。名前は浅葱より。3年英語
Third year, oh.
11月26日生まれ。
Okay, that's more info than we needed, but
お願いしたとかなんとか。
mm.
じゃあもうより先輩の歌聞けないの？
I can't let that happen. You gotta go out with her so that she can write.
とか興味ないもんかと思ってた。
I don't give a fuck about music, but when it's her,
前とか下手とかはわかんないけど、
yeah.
すごいかっこいいなって思った。放課後屋上で歌ってるらしいよ、一人で。
This is where we can have a meeting.
本当？そう聞いたけど、でもしかしてひまり。行ってみ
We gotta
る。
watch.
また後で。まだ放課後じゃないぞ。
Like, we got a front row seat, I mean.
自分も好きだと伝えたら、あの子の笑顔見れるかな。恋愛ソングか。
Guess you might as well try.
あれだ。
Try and think about
気
her.
分転換に少しだけ。
し 先輩の歌声が離れない。
Hmm.
もっと聞きたい先輩の歌を。
The fateful rooftop meeting. Oh.
一人で歌うのが好き。誰かに聞いてほしいっていうよりも、ただ歌うのが好きなだけ。
Mm-hmm.
一人の方が自由に歌えるし。でもあの子にはまた。
ゆり先輩友達に調べてもらいました。
なんか怖いな。あ、
I respect her forwardness, though.
その会いたかったから。
私に
Oh
そ
no. This is about to be crazy.
う、ちゃんと返事。あのさ、私も一目惚れなんだよね。
Insane. Hold on. Hold on.
両思いなんだから喜んでくれ。
ってことは先輩もボーカルに一目惚れしてバンド始めたってことで
Nope.
すか？
Nope. Nope.
すごい一目惚れ仲間だ。私も歌のセンスがあったらバンドやってる。
あ
一目惚れって
私気のひまりって言います。よろしくお願いします。
笑顔かわいいな。
先輩なんか顔赤いですよ。大丈夫ですか？
なんでもない。
毎日より先輩の歌が聞きたいんです。先輩にベタ惚れしちゃってるんです。
いやいやいや、だからこの子の惚れてるは意味が違
聞き
う。
に来ちゃダメですか？
How can you say no? How can you say no? Look at her.
わかったよ。
Yeah.
でもその代わりもっと惚れさせるから覚悟してね。
楽しみにして
Hell of a move.
昨
日さんおはよう。
より先輩
そんな驚かんでよ。後ろ姿が見えたから声かけたんだけど迷惑だったかな。
すっごく嬉しいです。
と今日も来るよね。
行っても大丈夫ですか？
好きな時間においでよ。
浅葱先輩優しそうな人でよかったね。
Absolutely.
優しくて綺麗でかっこよくて声美しいよね。そこまで言った
She's perfect.
とりあえずあれか。テンション高かったのは浅葱先輩と会う約束してたからか。毎日会いに行きますって言ってね。毎日ひまりと毎日とはあの先輩なかなかに変わり者だな。
Yeah, she loves you though, so it's all good.
って意味だったらしいんだよね。残念。告白されてはしゃいでたよ。
I was.
はしゃいでないし。
Yes, you were.
まあ知ってたんだけどね。
まずはかっこよくて頼ってもらえる先輩になろうと思って。
よりが頼れる先輩
Not gonna happen.
いいわ。まあ
You look the part, but that's about it.
いいじゃん。
どうも。
これで恋愛ソング作れるし。
やっぱりそこつなげるか。
話は聞かせてもらったわ。私たちも応援するわよ。告白の時は豪華客船を用意してあげるわ。立花さんがとっておきの花束を用意するよ。
いらないっての。
ひより
びっくりした。
Oh, she immediately gets really red.
先輩すみません。20分前くらい
I
に
was so excited.
20分？
ホームルームの後、
Couldn't miss a single second with you.
その先輩に少しでも早く会いたくて、人がどうのとかって話始めちゃって。
I was like, hurry the fuck up, I got things to
命じてまし
do.
た。
もしかして物理の斧？
そうなんか話しすぎちゃいました。
本当だ。もうこんな時間。
Time flies.
なんか
Mm,
私
It's perfectly fine.
いやいや、木野さん話しやすくて楽しいから。
一曲だけ、わがままなんですけど、一曲だけ先輩の歌が聞きたいです。
Oh, about that.
分かったよ。一曲だけね。
ありがとうございます。
分かってる。告白は勘違いだったって。私はこの恋、どうやら諦められそうにない。
a fantastic start and almost unexpected, I would say, with the direction that we decide to take this romance and decide to take the feelings and things from these characters. To me, it just like, I mean, the standard formula, the thing that you'd almost expect based on the dynamic and the situation and stuff that we're in, is overly enthused and energetic girl falls for a person in band who is like cool, calm, collected, and that person doesn't understand, can't process emotions and do all these things, and then is complete like tsundere, and also just like completely struggles to like openly express herself, while the other girl's like overly attached in like those moments, and like it's very easy. And while that's kind of what happens, we flip that a little bit by allowing this miscommunication or misunderstanding of love that they basically have, with Himari being somebody who is absolutely in love with Yori, but at the same time in love with her in a way that is different, but at the same time not so much. It's clear. I mean, it's clear because we know they're going to go the route where they end up like, you know, likely probably being together and feeling, you know, similar feelings in that way, and actually engaging in a relationship and everything. So we know like her feelings of love are actually feelings of love in the typical sense, but at the same time, it might not necessarily be there at this point. I went through the entire episode basically feeling that way, and feeling that the miscommunication and understandings and stuff, the way that I think trying to perceive it based on my understanding of like this relationship and the way things were going to go, and based on the intro scene that we see of like how each of them like state that they fall in love and everything was going to go, as she actually was, and then she just refused to almost acknowledge or accept the fact that somebody like Yori would be so like accepting and giving back to her, and like also stating the same thing, that she fell in love at first sight and everything too. So for me, I operated under the assumption the entire time that she actually was, and then we had miscommunication based on that. But the more I'm thinking about it, and, you know, the way that the other characters reacted and brought things up and the way that things kind of went, is the understanding that somebody like Himari is actually in love with her, just in the sense of she fell in love with this vision, this version of this person who's singing and looking cool up on stage and everything, but maybe not actually that person themselves, and wanted to tell them that like they're just so cool up there basically, but using the word of love, something that's completely strong, and causing the person who struggles with this sort of thing and doesn't really understand love or emotions, and for the first time is kind of thrown into this situation in Yori, to really have to like sit back and reflect and be like, what the fuck is this situation that I found myself in, you know, to the point that she gets herself worked up and ends up having a similar feeling. So all of that, I think, makes enough sense now when you look at it in that kind of context. Well, I still think that there probably is that hint of love, and we could play into the way that she was just like kind of in denial almost, that Yori would be so accepting like immediately like this, that she just assumed it would be about something else, and then it caused a misunderstanding to happen. That's probably not as likely to be the situation, and it's more so where we're going to go a direction where Yori's just kind of putting up with her own love that she has for this other girl. We're forcing somebody else like Himari to be in the situation where she now will go out of her way and have to learn and develop this love, while at the same time Yori learns how to deal with her own feelings and then translates all of that stuff kind of into song, would be my guess. I think a lot of that would make sense, and I'm absolutely here for it. I think that's a that's a great way to go. We get a lot of really cool stuff, a lot of great character interactions, a lot of fun stuff with just the friendship and the dynamics that a lot of people have, which I think is really great. I love seeing Himari have a surrounding, while it's only one person, but still having like somebody with her that she can kind of like come to and state these things that she actually is like passionate and cares about, and like just kind of be herself, and not have to be alone in those moments. So I love that. I love also just the background and the supporting group that we have for Yori, while they kind of tease her a little bit in these situations. I don't think it's a bad thing the way that they're kind of like going about it, and they're more so just like messing with her a little bit because it's cute, like the like flustered reactions and everything that they can kind of see and get out of her. So it's one of those things. But I think like, had we have to take serious moment, which we end up getting to see a couple times, where like she does have like one-on-one conversations maybe, and we're not in like so many group dynamics, we can be a little bit more like honest with her, and we can be a little bit more serious in those moments and not have to mess around with her. So I think like each group, it seems nice that they have good surrounding cast. We don't have to necessarily worry about any of those characters in those situations. I'm interested to see the feelings almost. I mean, we could see like that they, while they still teased her, they were are almost like completely fine and okay with it. So I don't know if we're going to play into this, like the type of couple that they are, looking at them and maybe having other characters in the background or friends and stuff kind of struggle to comprehend and understand and accept and stuff, or if we're just going to play it as completely normalized and everything, which I would like, actually, if we do just go that route and kind of accepting of it, where nobody really questions or wonders or does anything, because it should be more normalized, to the point that like we don't have to really play into those questions, but at the same time we can do it in like tasteful ways and not really have any issues there. But I am just curious, like the reactions and in general stuff that we're going to get out of a lot of the characters, if this relationship ever goes out of its way and actually gets formed throughout the entirety of the series, at any point, and actually like people kind of come to terms in the way that they express themselves to their friends and everything. So I do wonder there. Animation and everything looked pretty good. I mean, nothing amazing, but it was pretty good for what it was. We didn't have to go overly detailed with a lot of like backgrounds and different scenarios and stuff, but I thought that the coloring and everything was great. I thought the character designs are fantastic. Well, they're not the most unique character designs out there. They definitely still are fantastic. They complement each other really well for our main girls, at least. And even the background girls, I think all have really good designs that I'm particularly a fan of. Specifically the one girl with the short blonde hair that Yori's friends with, the one who plays on the keyboard. I really like her design, and I'm a big fan of her so far. So hopefully we kind of just keep moving with all of them and actually flesh them out a little bit. While it is a main story for our main pairing here, I would still like to get a little bit of background, like with the characters and the way that they all kind of connect and how this club and everything was formed. I also really love the getting multiple sides of the story, not just playing this relationship following one of the characters, but following both, getting actual like moments where we get to hear inner dialogue, also like conversations and stuff between the other characters while one of them doesn't have to be around. I really enjoy that quite a bit, as I feel like typically we don't get a lot of series that actually do that and follow both of them. They just kind of pick one of them as the main character and follow them. So I kind of like this a lot so far. The music was pretty good too, and actually enjoyed their performances. It didn't look like bad or anything. I thought everything looked really excellent actually for what it was. And it makes me excited to see much more of that stuff kind of coming forward as well. The first meeting of us falling in love here, but before that comes, we have to kind of move back and we have to go back through the day, and we get to see, well, Himari's kind of the way that I almost expected her to basically be, you know, the extremely high energetic and everything that you have with her, a little bit absent-minded at moments, and kind of just hyper focused on like certain things and everything. She makes a lot of sense. Like it works for her character type. I really like the way that she ties up her hair and everything. I think it's really cute. Her having a friend here is fun. I also really like their uniforms. Her friend's sister is the blonde bassist, which is exciting. She of course is very excited about her sister doing here, so good that they have a nice relationship together. And then we get to see everybody performing. We find out that Yori's she struggles basically to perform. She doesn't want to be up in front of people. She's not good at that. She's more of a, let me keep a lot of the stuff to myself. I struggle around large groups of people, and especially in front of an audience of people, and being able to do all these things. So it was kind of a miracle that we're able to even get her up on stage here. Later figuring out that we're bribing her with things basically to get her up here, which I think is really sweet actually. End up finding out that, you know, only focus directly on her. Of course, her friend gets a little upset about that, but she's like, dude, I'm completely fucking in love with her, which is great. Us all having this conversation and explaining a little bit expands Yori a little bit and how easy it is to kind of, you know, you give her the things that she wants, she'll easily conform to you. And then at the Shulager, we end up having our conversation and meeting between the two. The confession comes out, but not exactly taken in the way that was fully expected. While Yori, somebody who doesn't fully expect to have romance and things within her own life, ends up really being opened into this world, and it actually creates something where her struggle that she was now going to be coming into of, I don't know how to write songs, I don't know how to do all this stuff because I've never experienced or had any of these emotions, immediately comes forward. Maybe her initial love isn't directly something where like you see somebody and you're just like, oh, I love the idea of what this person is kind of presenting or portraying themselves as, and it was more of like, love is on my mind in this moment, I'm thinking about all this stuff, and then somebody tells me that they love me, and then immediately it just like opens her world and just sends her to a point that she doesn't know how to like kind of deal with it, and then she almost like tricks herself into the point that she like falls for it, and then she notices all these little things about her that she's like, oh, this is really cute, oh, this is great, I really like this, and it's just like it completely sends her and panics her, and she doesn't really know how to handle it. I like her texting her friends too and being like, oh, we gotta have a talk. I don't know what to do. Them messing around and teasing her in this moment's really cute, and telling her that she has to reply and everything, I think is great. We get a little bit of scouting from Miki here in the background info, and we learn a little bit about her, that she's going to be up on the roof and playing and stuff. So of course we have to run up there, and we end up seeing her. We end up catching her while she ends up playing her music, of course, which is a really cute moment. And then we have a little bit of a conversation. She ends up confessing her feelings. Things don't go the way she was expecting. Of course, she's like, oh yeah, when you started joining the club, or you started playing music, it was like love at first sight. Of course, we're one and the same, right? Because I mean, that's how you would do it, right? You can be in denial about it, but at the same time you would transmit the way that you're intending your feelings to come off to somebody else the same way that you would like reciprocate them back. So if I'm meeting them in the way that like I love like the things that you're doing up on stage, and you're like, yeah, it was love at first sight for me too, you're not gonna assume that they're coming back to you with the idea of like I'm like in love with you, but more so like, yeah, I was in love with the idea of doing this thing, so I get why you're also maybe feeling this exact way, and I was fascinated maybe in a similar situation too. The two of them end up coming together, which is really cute here, just having these conversations. I think is great. Her noticing all these little details, like her smiling and everything, that makes her like extremely, I don't know, it's great. We get really cute moments too where she like lines like this, I'm gonna make you fall even harder for me, like in the context that like you each take it different ways too. It works so well though. And so far they have a great dynamic, which I absolutely love. Her just immediately coming up, we talk, we don't have to like hide from each other, we immediately can seek each other out, we can become on like a stronger basis and actually like talk to each other and form this relationship without everything being awkward and weird. It all folds together extremely nice, which of course we end up loving. I like how she ends up finding out in this moment based on what her sister ended up telling her. And she's like, well, you could have told me that before, but it is what it is. Her friend's here to mess around a little bit too, but it still is fun finding out like Mari's been up here for 20 minutes. Of course, she can't waste any time, and she has to be here with her. They end up having a conversation about school and everything. They connect together really nice. I don't know. It all just connects so well. It's so great the way they were able to bring the two of these together. Yuri realizing too at this moment that her feelings, are kind of here to stay, and that they're actually legitimate, and they're not just something that she was like kind of stuck on that idea for or caught off guard with or anything. She's really is feeling that. So figuring out how she's gonna have to deal with that and move forward a little bit, I think is really cool. I don't know, it gets me excited. And then we get likely the OP. I'm not gonna lie, I spaced completely out. I was watching this, I was just listening to the music and didn't really pay too much attention. So we'll watch that a little bit more closely next time, or I'll rewatch it when I'm editing later. I think we're gonna cut it there. I don't think I have too much more I really want to say. I just want to make it known that I really enjoyed it, and I'm very excited to see how we kind of develop things and how we move forward. I do like that we are able to be honest with each other. I like that we're able to express ourselves to our characters, even though we're not on the same level yet, even though we weren't able to completely correct somebody. Yuri isn't able to correct her own feelings and like actually let Himari know, like, no, I meant it this way or whatever, right? Like, there's little things, of course, I would love to be slightly different, but all of that will kind of just build up and allow us to see this dynamic and chemistry between our characters and build up this relationship that we're having a lot more to climax at a different point, I would say, so that we don't have to immediately do it episode 1, but all of that's perfectly fine, and I'm just really excited, I guess, to get into and see what's to come. I'm assuming we're going to get some more performances, Yuri kind of being part of the group. She's going to do it, I mean, also for bribery reasons, but also as ways to look and appear a lot more cool to Himari, of course, and she'll be able to write music and stuff a lot better now too, because of these feelings and things that she's having and different experiences that she'll end up getting through her. So overall, fun, extremely cute, and I'm very excited to see what else is to come. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed. If you liked it, all hit the like and subscribe to mean a lot to me. Leave any comments about this episode or this series. Be back for episode 2 next week. I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.